Hey. So I know, how do I look? Not bad? Okay. So I know it's been a while since I have attempted to make a video like this. I used to do it all the time. I documented transition from pre-T to about a year and a half. And then I deleted everything from YouTube because I was afraid of like people finding out about me being trans and this job that I had. So I took all the videos down, and now though the world's kind of changed, there's more openness to transition. So I figure, why not kind of like attempt to start that up again, or just talk about kind of where I'm at with transition. So I'm 7 years on T now. I wish I could throw up a photo of like an old photo of me, but maybe I'll do that. Yeah, so I'm 7 years on T, and I mean, it's been a really long kind of journey. It'll take me a bit to kind of get my bearings back to talking about this, obviously, in this kind of setting. But I'll get used to it. Anyway, so yeah, so I'm 7 years on T, and I mean, a lot has changed in my life. Mainly that the way I look, obviously, beard. I know I'm bald now, lose my hair. I'll talk about obviously that. Maybe I'll make a whole separate thing on, losing my hair and all that type of stuff. But anyway, for the most part, I'm 7 years on T, and I would say for the most part, I'm happy. I'm happy with transition, and I'm happy with how things have gone for me. There's obviously times when I'm not happy, and I don't feel good about transition, but for the most part, if we're talking the majority of the time, I feel pretty good about it. So yeah, so there's that. So in the last 7 years, obviously I did all the stuff for pre-transition, name changes, and I'll kind of maybe make separate videos and all of that stuff. But just a general overview, yeah. So I'm also 5 years post-op, and I'm top, and I'm 5 years post-op histo, and I'm basically just living my life as male, passing on a daily basis. Not that that should be the goal of transition, but it definitely turned out that way for me. I would say the hardest thing at 7 years is probably the fact that you feel so far removed from the whole process of having transition that I'm really at a place where I've really forgotten a lot about who I was beforehand, and that is kind of a positive and a negative. I think that my life has become very assimilated, obviously, into male culture, and I try to continue to talk about transition. I try to still do talks. I try to still reflect into my transition, because if not, I feel like, I might lose everything entirely, and I think it's important to remember how far we've been as individuals, and that person, obviously, that was before. So there's that. I also find that when I think about my transition, I think that it was definitely the right choice for me. I don't know if everyone feels that way this far into transition. I think that it was absolutely the right choice for me. I think it's made some things a lot easier, and it's made some things obviously more challenging. In general, male privilege and all of that has definitely made my life easier. In some ways, though, transition does make it harder. The fact that I'm completely invisible from the LGBT community, the fact that LGBT members who don't know I'm trans will look at me as though I'm going to be homophobic, especially because I'm also a person of color. So when I'm in LGBT spaces, sometimes there's a bit of a disconnect in not wanting to talk to me because they don't know anything about me. And so that sometimes that can be hard, especially when I'm looking for community. And also when I'm meeting new people, it's so far in the background now for me, the transition, that when I meet new people, obviously I don't tell them right away. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Although recently I've, in this year 7 time, or I guess I'm in year 8, anyway, but I've actually started to tell more people really quickly, about my transition. It doesn't even matter. First time I meet them, it's all good. Sometimes it doesn't come up, sometimes it comes up, and that's okay. And I think that's because the world has changed, but Also because I'm way more comfortable with transition. I'm way more comfortable with my body. I'm way more comfortable being male. I'm just more comfortable in general. And again, that doesn't mean that everything is just perfect. Obviously, life still goes on. I'm still trying to start a business. I'm still trying to support myself and be the best that I can be. But I think in general, transition has really, really helped me to do all those things because it's allowed me to open myself up to life in a way that I wouldn't have been able to do before, or at least I couldn't do before. So all that is very positive. But I can talk about more stuff like going down the line. But I just wanted to make a quick 7-year video, and if you have any questions or anything, obviously feel free to leave a comment, feel free to hit me up. But I'm hoping to make this a regular thing and talk more about transition because I miss it, and I miss being part of a community, and that is online because YouTube was where I found trans people in the first place. And some of you obviously might remember me from that, some of you maybe not, but I'm looking forward to like getting to know everybody again and getting back into the community, into the YouTube community. And I'll leave it at that. All right, bye.